All right, we are going to figure out factoring by using sliding and dividing. The very first step that you will always do, and you want to have this on your notes, step one is to factor out your GCF. This is what we did on the very first day of this unit. Out of these three terms, what is my GCF? Does 6 go into 8? No, that doesn't work evenly. What's another number? 3. Does 3 go into 8? No. How about 2? All right, my GCF is 2, so I'm going to pull out a GCF. You have to do that from the very beginning or it gives you false factors. So I'm going to divide by 2. Now, 8 divided by 2 is 4. Don't forget the x squared. 8 divided by 2 plus 4x. Negative 6 divided by 2, negative 3. Step 2. This is why we call it slide and divide. The first thing I'm going to do is slide to the right. Slide to the left. Okay, anyway, stop making jokes. All right, I'm going to slide. Now, my GCF still stays out in the front. I don't do anything with it, guys. You are going to take in here this trinomial right here. You're taking what's in front of the x squared, and I'm sliding it to the back. What the sliding means is I'm going to move to the back and multiply. So, instead of 4x squared, I want just the x squared. Now, I'm going to bring down this 4x. I'm going to put plus 4x. And then I multiply 4 times negative 3. And what does that give me? 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Okay. I'm doing this because I need my x squared just as an x squared without a coefficient. Now what I'm going to do is actually factor my trinomial. Remember that trinomial is what's I wrote in the black right there. Now, I'm going to split up x squared as x and x. Okay, x squared always splits up as x and x. Take this last number, negative 12. I need the factors of negative 12. I need the numbers that multiply together to give me negative 12. All right, listen. I can write them out by going, okay, this is what old people like me used to have to do. 1 times negative 12, negative 1 times 12. But look, grab your handy-dandy calculator. Go to y equals. And let's put in there negative 12. Negative 12 divided by x. Okay, you're going to take the number you need the factors of, divided by x, press second graph. It's always going to tell you zero, I can't even talk, 0 and error, because you can't divide by a 0. So don't worry about that 0. Now, I need the factors that add up. Whoa, hello. Okay, it's moving. I didn't mean to do that. All right. I want the factors that add up together to give me my middle number of 4. Look here. 1 and negative 12. If I add these up together, what do I get? Negative 11, right? Well, the next one down here. Oh, golly gee, here we go. All right, I've got 2 and negative 6. What is 2 plus negative 6? 2 and negative 6 gives me negative 4 when I add them together. Well, wait a minute, isn't that close? What do I need? I need a positive 4, right? So what about negative 2 and positive 6? That gives me a positive 4, right? Is that what I'm looking for? Yes, so I'm going to put negative 2 and positive 6. One question people give me is, does it matter which order I put the negative 2 and the 6? No, it does not. Okay, you're trying to find your factors that add up together to give you your middle term. Put them in here, any order. The very last step is divide. You divide by the number you slid. What number did we slide? We slid a 4, right? In these parentheses, divide by 4, please. All right. What this means now, we're going to have 2 Now, does 2 divided by 4, does that work out evenly? No. Can I reduce it? I can reduce it, right? Doesn't that become 1/2? If you don't know that, put -2 divide 4, math, enter, and it reduces every fraction, right? So let's remind ourselves of that. If you go on your home screen, put in there -2 divided by 4, math, enter. It gives you -1/2. All right, so now I've got x minus 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and reduce these first. X, does 6 divided by 4 work out evenly? I mean, is that is that the lowest it can do? No. 6 divided by 4 does not divide evenly. That's not the lowest. If you put 6 divide 4, press math, enter, it's going to reduce it to 3/2. What stinks about this is that none of them work out to be an even number. So what you're going to do, I'm going to write 2. Now, this 2 is going to go in front of your x, and I'm going to have 2x minus 1. Unfortunately, we're starting off with one of the harder ones, but this is as hard as it gets. That's the good news. Take this 2 down here, move it in front of this x. I get 2x plus 3. We have now factored. To check this, you would put this, you could put this into y1, and what we started with up there into y2. And you press second graph, and how do you know if you're right? All of y1 and y2 are the same, right? Okay, don't worry, stay with me. Some of y'all are already like, oh my goodness. Hold on. Go down a minute. Okay, let me let you finish writing this, and then I'm going to go on to the next one. There are no shortcuts to this. I promise. This was not one of my favorite units when I was growing up. But I wish we had this stuff when I did it because it was much more difficult. We had to do all the numbers in our head. All right, next one. Okay, let me go back. All right, number 8. Step 1, GCF. What number goes into all these? Does 12 go into 33? No. 11 doesn't go into all these. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Blast off. Just kidding. What number goes into all of them? 3. My GCF is a 3. So that means I'm going to divide everything out by 3. Guys, this is why we did GCF yesterday. 12 divided by 3, 4x squared. 33 divided by 3, 11x. Negative 60 divided by 3, negative 20. Okay. Step 2, slide. Keep your 3 out there. What am I sliding? I'm sliding the number that's in front of the x squared. So take that 4, slide to the right. So I'm just going to be left with x squared plus 11x. 4 times negative 20 is negative 80. So now, step 3 is to factor. Whoop. All right, so I know I have a 3, and I'm breaking it up into 2 parentheses. Now, what am I supposed to factor? Oh, wait, let me go back. How does x squared split up? X and x, right? Okay. So now I need to find the factors of this last number. I need the factors of negative 80. This is why I'm telling you I wish I had a calculator back in the day, because we had to write them all out. I need the factors of negative 80 that add up together to give me 11. Well, okay, go in the calculator, go to y equals, put in there negative 80 divided by x. Second graph. I need to look at my numbers that add up to give me positive 11. If I add 1 and negative 80, what do I get? Negative 79. What about 2 and negative 40? If you add them together, you get negative 38. Oh, that's a decimal. I'm not messing with that. What about this one? 4 and negative 20. Negative 16. 5 and negative 16. If I do 5 and negative 16, if I add them together, what do I get? Negative 11, right? What do I need? I need a positive 11. So why don't we switch it? Let's do negative 5 and positive 16. If I add those together, don't I get positive 11? You're trying to get this middle term. So that means I'm going to put minus 5 and plus 16. Okay? Step 4. You have to slide, then you have to divide. What am I supposed to be dividing by? I divide by what I slid. What did I slide? The 4. So I'm going to divide by 4. Okay? Don't forget your GCF. Leave that out there. Now, does 5 divided by 4 work out evenly? No. Can I reduce it any farther? No, that's as low as it goes. So I'm going to put the 4 in front of the x. So I have 4x minus 5. Now the next one, 16 divided by 4. What's that? Does that work out evenly? Yeah. So it's just going to be x plus 4. This is your factors. You would put this into y1, but you think the answer is up here, into y2, press second graph, and if all y1 and y2 are the same, then you're right. Guys, when you're working on your homework and you come in, like if you worked on it at home and didn't have your calculator, when you come in, the first thing you should do is check it. I'm not going to be friendly if you turn in your assignments and you have them wrong because you were too lazy to check. The idea of your homework is you check it, and if you have it wrong, you need to ask. Okay? And then I can go over that stuff. When we're working on it here in class, check it in the calculator and then ask me what you did wrong. That's the only way we're going to fix it. So the question was on the checking. That's the biggest thing. You have to have your GCF. All of this I circled has to go into Y1. The problem has to go into Y2, and then you can check if you're missing one piece. And that's why if it shows you you're wrong, bring me the calculator too so I can check, and then I know if you just didn't put it in there right. Okay? All right, number 9. What was step 1? GCF. Okay. Ugh. Does 8 go into 26? No. Let's see. 7, 6, 5, 4. 4 doesn't go into 26. If you don't know, take 26 divided by 4. It doesn't work out evenly. 3, 2, there we go. A 2 goes into all of them. So you've got to pull the GCF out first. All right. 8 divided by 2 is 4x squared. 26 divided by 2, 13x. Negative 24 divided by 2, negative 12. All right. Next idea was slide. Do y'all ever notice I'm doing the same thing each time, right? In your mind, that's what you should be doing step by step in your mind. You should hear my voice saying, step 1, GCF. I know it's scary. I'm in your mind. Step 2, slide. Now, I'm going to leave my GCF out there. Okay? Slide to the right. So I move that over there. So now I just got x squared. The whole idea is you always want to just have an x squared. Plus 13x. 4 times negative 12. Negative 48. Remember, multiply them. Multiply them. Okay. So you slid. Now we have to do our factoring. Now we got to go to work. The 2 stays out there. Your parentheses split up into 2. My x squared split up. All right. Last number, negative 48. I need the factors of negative 48 that add up to give me 13. So let's go to that bad boy, that handy dandy calculator. And I'm going to put in there negative 48 divided by x. Second graph. I need them to add up to be 13. Look at the first ones. 1 and negative 48, that gives me negative 47. 2 and negative 24. That's what, negative 22? 3 and negative 16. Now, if I take 3 and negative 16, if I add them together, what do they give me? Negative 13. I could scroll back up and look the other way, but if I know this, all I have to do is switch the signs. Negative 3 and positive 16. When I add those together now, I get positive 13. That's what I'm looking for, right? So I'm going to put in there negative 3 and positive 16. Now I need to divide. But what do I divide by? I divide by what I slid. So I divide by 4. Okay? So the 2, the GCF still stays out there. 3 divided by 4, does that give me a nice whole number? No. Does it reduce, or is this the lowest it goes? It's the lowest it goes, and if you don't know, remember, put it in the calculator, press math, enter, enter, right? It'll reduce it. Move that 4 in front of the x. So I have 4x minus 3. Now the next one, 16 divided by 4. Does that work out evenly? Yes, it does. X plus 4. Okay, in the calculator, see all of this I circled? The GCF and the 2 parentheses all have to go into y1 or y2. I don't care which. And then your problem into the other one. Okay? All right, let's try number 10. Okie dokie. Step 1. What that is? GCF, right? Go to the lowest number. Does 4 go into 12? Yes. 4 go into 5? No. So you're right. The lowest, the GCF is a 1. If it's a 1, we don't do anything with it. So we don't worry about it. So now we got to slide. I'm just entertaining myself. All right. So move this 5. Move it to the right. Okay, I'm really losing it now. All right. So the x squared plus 12x. What is 5 times 4? 20. Okay. Oh, I forgot to write slide. Now I need to factor. Okay, I split it up into 2 parentheses. X and X. Now I think I might write this one out just to show you old school by hand. All right. Find the factors of 20. You can put it in the calculator. I know 1 times 20, negative 1 times negative 20, 2 times 10, negative 2 times negative 10. Like I could keep going on. 4 and 5. I need the factors that add up together to give me 12. If I add these, I get 21. Add these, I get negative 21. Add 2 and 10, I get 12. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, there's my factors. So I'm going to put plus 2 and plus 5. What's step 4? Don't we divide? We got to divide by what we slid. What did we slide? We slid that 5. So you got to divide by 5. All right. 2 divided by 5. Is that it? Does that go in evenly? No. Yes, ma'am. Oh, thank you. It's 2 and 5. You know what I did? I was doing the dividing in my head. Sorry. It's 2 and 10. How about them apples? There we go. And now we divide by 5. All right. Is that better now? Thank you for catching it, because sometimes when I do this by myself, I do those mistakes and then they don't get caught till people watch the videos. Okay? All right, so sorry. 2 and 10 are the factors, and we put them there. Then we divide by the 5. See, I was too busy mooing, wasn't I? All right? So now, 2 divided by 5, that doesn't go in evenly, and it's reduced as low as possible. So I'm going to put the 5 in front of the x. 5x plus 2. Nothing I can do with that. What about 10 divided by 5? That goes down to 2. X plus 2. There's your answer. So that would go into y1. What I think the answer is into y2. All right. Moving right along. Whoa, hold up, wait a minute. All right. There's only 2 terms in here. But we're still going to do the same thing. Ready? Stay with me. Step 1. Or would you guys rather do this all by yourself without any help? Okay? Maybe in a minute. I got to show you this one. There's no middle term. By the way, if you're understanding this with the other problems on the paper, you can be working on those while I'm doing this and checking, okay? All right, GCF. But I will tell you, I said that, but I want you to watch this one because this one doesn't have a middle term. Is there a GCF? What goes into it? 2 and 8, that 2 goes into it, so let's divide out a 2. So let's see, what do I get? Divide out a 2, I get 4x squared minus 1. Here's the problem now. Okay, so now I get step 2 is to slide, right? You are sliding the number that's in front of the x squared. So I'm moving the 4 back here to the back. So I get 2x squared, 4 minus 1, or 4 times negative 1, sorry. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Now I need to factor. This is where I wanted you guys to see. We did kind of work on that in here when we were multiplying. Some of you might know what happens. My x squared splits up as x and x, right? I need the factors of negative 4. What do my factors need to add up together to be? That middle term. Is there a middle term? There's not an x, is there? So you want the factors that add up together to give you 0. The factors of negative 4 are 1 and negative 4, negative 1 and 4. What else is there? Negative 2 and 2. Which ones add up together to give you 0? Those. So then I have minus 2 and plus 2. Now, what's the last step? I have to divide. You have to divide by what you slid. So I'm dividing by 4. All right, now here's the deal. Is negative 2 divided by 4, does that work out evenly? Guys, negative 2 divided by 4 is not 2. It's one of the biggest mistakes that always happens. I've got 2. Now, let's just do it this way. X, put in your calculator, go in the home screen, put in there negative 2, divide 4. Oh. Negative 2 divide 4. Guys, it gives you a decimal. Math, enter, enter. Gives you negative 1/2. Okay. So then when you reduce the other one, It's going to give you positive 1/2. Now, what do I have to do? Don't I have to move this 2 up here? So I get 2, and then 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1. Let me give you a little bit. I don't like doing slide and divide on this one as much like this. I want to show you something. When we had this problem, 8x squared minus 2, okay? You don't have to write this next part. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. You pulled out the GCF, right? Oops. So I pulled out the GCF, and I wrote what was left. Okay, that part was no big deal, right? When I go to split this up, you guys, look at these. These are exactly the same, aren't they? But what's the difference between these two? One's positive, one's negative. When there is not a middle term, this is always true. That's where that was at perfect squares. So what I would do is this. I would split up my 4x squared evenly. 2x and 2x. Split up the 1 evenly. 1 and 1. Plus 1, minus 1. Let me show you the next one. Ready? This one is going to be the same type of thing, but I'm not going to show you slide and divide on this one. Ready? Watch. This is a perfect square. This is the one that has a minus in between it. We are going to do the first step. Let's do the first step, which is pull out the GCF. What goes into 9 and 16? Does 9 go into 16? Does 3 go into 16? 3 goes into 18, not 16. Okay, there's nothing. There's no GCF. Is there a middle term in this one? There's not. Like, what I mean by middle term, ax squared plus bx plus c. Is there an x? No. When there is not, here's what we can do. How can 9 split up evenly? So let's go 3x and 3x. How can 16 split up evenly? No, what two numbers, no, 8 times 8 is 64. It's 4. You have to think about what numbers, what is the same number that multiplies together to give you 16, right? So I've got 4 and 4. What did we say the middle term had to be? We had to have a positive and a negative. If you don't see this during this, you can always do slide and divide. Slide and divide always works as well. This right here is called the difference of squares. It's one of those that makes it easier if you can identify. This only works, guys, when the numbers can split up exactly the same in each parentheses. Does that make sense? Look, it's got to have a 3x and a 3x. It's got to have a 4 and a 4. Okay? They've got to multiply together to give you these numbers here. All right? Let's see. What is the next one? 13? Oh, 13's easy. 13 wants to know the GCF. That's all it's asking you. I find the smallest number. Does 12 go into 24? Yes, but does 12 go into 15? No. Another factor of 12. 11 doesn't. 10. 9. 8. Y'all keep telling me what number you're trying to tell me. 3. 3 goes into all of them. That's the GCF is 3. The next one, that's the one I really wanted to get to. It says the area of a square frame. Okay? What's true about a square? All sides are equal, right? Okay. My area is, it's n squared, but I'm going to use x squared minus 10x plus 25. Ugh, all right. I didn't write it big enough. Okay. Let's do slide and divide. Is there a GCF other than 1? There's not a 5 in front of the x squared, though. It has to be in all three terms. So there is no GCF. So now I need to slide. Well, that's a 1. I don't have to do anything with that if it's a 1. I just have to split it up. Let's try and factor it. X squared splits up as x and x. I need the factors of 25. So you can go in your calculator and put into y1 and put 25 divided by x. I need the factors that add up together to give me what? Wasn't it negative 10? All right, so 25 divided by x, second graph. What numbers add up together? Look right here, 5 and 5. If I do 5 and 5, that gives me positive 10, right? How about negative 5 and negative 5? All right, so I go in here. Negative 5, negative 5. I don't have to divide by anything because if you don't slide, you don't divide. If you don't have to slide, all you have to do is break it up. Hey, how can I write this instead of writing it x minus 5 times x minus 5? X minus 5 squared. That means the same thing. Okay? All right.